Elias Rowan was used to people stopping him on the street, beggars asking for spare change, strangers wanting a selfie with the billionaire who'd become a legend for turning a garage startup into a global empire. But no one had ever shouted at him before. And definitely not a girl who looked no older than 14, barefoot, with tangled hair and trembling hands. "Don't eat that," she cried, stepping in front of him so suddenly he nearly dropped the hot pretzel he had just bought from the street vendor. Elias blinked, startled. "What? Why?" The girl's chest heaved. Her eyes, storm gray and intense, were locked on the pretzel. "It's poisoned." For a heartbeat, the world seemed to freeze. Then Elias gave a faint, awkward laugh. "Kid, it's a pretzel, not a murder weapon." He turned to take a bite. But the girl grabbed his wrist. Her grip was surprisingly strong. "Please, don't." He was about to pull away when he saw something on her hand. A burn scar shaped like a twisted coil, the type you didn't get from an accident but from something intentional. Her eyes flickered with fear, and Elias felt something shift in his chest. "Okay," he said slowly. "Tell me what's going on." Her name was Grace. The girl hesitated before speaking. "My name is Grace." She pointed subtly at the pretzel stand. I work behind that alley sometimes. I saw the vendor arguing with two men earlier. They paid him to get rid of someone important. Said he'd know who when he saw him." Her eyes lowered. "You're the only important-looking person who's come today." Elias felt ice crawl up his spine. "You're saying someone tried to poison me?" Grace nodded. "I heard them. I swear it." Elias studied her. She was thin, dangerously thin. Dirt smudged her cheeks. She wore an oversized hoodie with holes in the sleeves. She didn't look like a liar. She looked like someone who'd lived through enough lies to know the difference. But a billionaire listening to a street girl over a licensed vendor. It felt absurd. And yet, "Come with me," Elias said, tossing the pretzel into the trash and taking out his phone. "We're getting this tested." Grace shook her head. "They're watching. Those men, they were still around." Fear flashed across her face, raw, real. Elias made the type of decision that changed a life, though he didn't yet know whose life it would change more. "Then stay close," he said. The moment everything shifted, they walked quickly toward his armored car. Elias's security team noticed Grace immediately, but one look from him kept them silent. He handed the pretzel to his driver, Thomas. "Have this tested." Quietly. Thomas nodded and left. That was when Elias saw it, a black SUV parked across the street. Two men inside, watching. He looked down at Grace. She wasn't imagining it. "You were telling the truth," he murmured. Her breath shook, as if she'd been waiting for someone, anyone, to believe her. Challenges they faced. 1. The threat that wouldn't go away. Within hours, lab results confirmed it. The pretzel was laced with a slow-acting toxin. Police were alerted, but the two men from the SUV vanished before authorities arrived. Someone wanted Elias gone. Someone patient and calculating. Someone who knew his habits and routines. Grace had saved his life, but that also meant she was now in danger too. 2. Grace's painful past. Elias brought her to his penthouse for safety, a temporary solution, he told himself. But that night, Grace woke screaming. Nightmares twisted her small frame, and Elias stood at her door, helpless. The next morning, she told him the truth. Her mother had died when she was 10. Her stepfather was the one who burned her wrist, punishment for hiding food. She ran away at 12 and had survived alone for 2 years, drifting from shelters to alleys, always hungry, always afraid. "I know what poison looks like," she whispered. "I've seen it. I've seen men like them." Elias felt something heavy settle in him, a mixture of sorrow and guilt. He had all the wealth in the world, yet here was a child who'd slipped through every crack. 3. His own blindness. While protecting Grace, Elias started noticing things he had ignored for years. His company was in the middle of a silent war for power. Board members whispering in corners. Investors behaving strangely. Security breaches that seemed too convenient. Someone inside his empire wanted him gone. And he had been too focused on success to see it. Grace hadn't just saved him from poison. She had opened his eyes. The turning point. One night, while Elias and Grace sat eating dinner, Her first warm meal in days. There was a sudden knock at the penthouse door. Security camera footage showed one of the men from the SUV. Grace froze. But Elias didn't back away. He stepped forward. "Open it," he said. The man lunged the second the door cracked open, but security tackled him instantly. He fought like a cornered animal, screaming about orders, about a deal gone wrong, about a buyer who wanted Rowan out of the picture. It was the final piece Elias needed. Someone on his board, the person who stood to gain the most from his death, was pulling the strings. The investigation that followed exposed everything. The poisoning plot, the hired men, the corruption inside his company. The mastermind, a board member named Victor Hale, was arrested. The danger was over. But the story wasn't. The choice that defined them both. When everything calmed, Elias sat Grace down. "You saved my life," he said. "And I want to save yours. If you'll let me." Her eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "I want to get you into school. Therapy. A safe home. A chance for a real future. Whatever you need." Grace's voice cracked. "Why would you do that for me?" Elias smiled softly. "Because someone should have done it long before today." Tears filled her eyes, quiet, grateful tears from a girl who had never been chosen before. An ending that inspires. Years passed. Grace flourished. School, music, friendships, stability. She grew into a bright, compassionate young woman with a strength no one could easily forget. Elias rebuilt his company with integrity, keeping a framed photo of Grace on his desk, taken on the day she started school, wearing her first real backpack. He would often look at it and think, sometimes the person you least expect becomes the person who changes everything. Grace saved his life with a warning. Elias saved hers with a choice. And together, they proved a simple, powerful truth.